Hi, my name is Gabe Arnold. I'm the founder of Landscape Marketing Hero. And today what I want to share with you are 3 simple mindset shifts that will earn you more in your landscaping company. Because in business, mindset is key. It's a huge part of what moves us forward. It helps us solve problems. It helps us make the right decisions, and it helps us take great care of ourselves. And so these are the 3 things I'm going to share with you that will help you grow more, earn more, and really have the success that you want inside your company. I'm Gabe Arnold, and this is the Green Mountain Podcast. We are the champions who brave the elements to create beauty. We see chaos and create order. We are never afraid of hard work, and we understand the power of strategic thinking and intentional actions. We come from all walks of life, and we will never allow our past to determine our future potential. We create beauty around the homes of our customers and increase the value of our community with the work that we do every day. We understand the power of consistent branding because it helps us grow and serve all those around us. We practice effective sales so our company, employees, and community can benefit from the value we add. We intentionally invest in operational habits that help us deliver excellent results to our customers on a continual basis. We understand that powerful and beautiful things take time to grow, and with consistent watering and intention, amazing results can happen. We are committed to making the world a better place by being positive examples to all those around us. We don't allow anyone to look down on us because we know the value we bring to our community as leaders. We create positive workplaces for our employees so they feel safe and supported, and at the same time, we hold ourselves to high standards. We pursue excellence on a daily basis because we know the journey is worth the sacrifice. We are the protectors of the land. We are the guardians of beauty. We are the heroes. We are landscapers. Our mindset, our beliefs, how we view things, and how we approach life and business just have a huge impact on the results that we're going to get. And so the first, mindset shift that I would encourage you to have is create a healthy detachment from today's outcomes. And what I mean by that is instead of thinking, I'm going to go to the sales appointment and I'm going to close this deal today, which is a good positive mindset to have. There's nothing wrong with that. Instead of just having that mindset, shift away from it and say, I'm going to do an excellent job. I'm going to really have an effective sales call, and I'm going to focus on each step of the process, and I'm going to celebrate my success on the process and showing up and doing things in the right order with the right routines. The reason that we want to shift that way is because there's a few different things that can happen if we get really attached to, this activity should equal this outcome today. If we're always in a position of feeling needy or needing that deal to close, people can sense that and it repels them from us and they don't buy. If instead of that, we show up and say, I'm going to deliver an excellent sales presentation. I'm going to answer all the questions. I'm going to use all the things I've learned to really be effective in the sales process. Then we can walk away from that sales call feeling confident, successful, and knowing we did the right things inside of our process. And when we do that, we sell more. I've tested it. I've researched it. I've seen it with clients. And it's always the case that if we detach from the outcome in the moment, the outcome does get better. The reason that it's important to create that healthy detachment is that if we think that every time that we do a specific action, we immediately get gratification, then we're going to be disappointed and discouraged when we go through situations where we put in all the work and the result doesn't come immediately. There's plenty of times where I have had a great sales presentation with a client, and then they just weren't ready. And there was nothing wrong with how I did the sales presentation. They were a good, client for us. Everything was on track, but they just weren't ready. And so I decided to stick to my routines, stick to my process, stay positive about the opportunity. And I kept following up with that person. And after about 22 months of follow-up, which seems like an eternity inside of a business, that client signed on, and they have gone on to do well over 6 figures in business with us. And it was all because I focused on what can I impact with my daily activities, my routines, the processes, and how can I have healthy detachment from thinking that if I do this great sales presentation, they're going to buy immediately. And so it's a balance between those two. But too often we get way too attached to saying, if I do this work, I should get this result immediately. If I do this work, I should get this result immediately. When in fact, it's the repetition over time, and it's the processes that we run, and it's just having a strong routine that actually brings us results. The other reason why it's important to have that shift is because if we do get good results periodically, but we're tied into that result every day, and we're like, oh, it was a good day because I sold a lot, it was a bad day because I didn't sell a lot, even though I went on these sales appointments, then we can create just a lot of disappointment. And also, if we do have a good day, then we get distracted from doing the daily actions that we need to do. We get distracted from the routines and the habits and the processes that actually grow the business. And so that's the first thing to think about, is just have a healthy detachment from expecting immediate outcome from the action that you put in today. The second thing from a mindset perspective that will serve you well is pre-plan for when disaster is going to strike. And instead of like hoping things, go right, or hoping things don't go wrong and everything's going to be okay, like realize that these things are going to happen in business. And if you pre-plan for it, you're going to be in a position of strength. Employees leave us, they resign. Customers get upset. Projects don't go right. Weather turns crazy out of the blue and nobody expected it. All of those things are uncontrollable things that we can't do as much about as we can do about pre-planning for that. So when we think about pre-planning for a disaster, that means, okay, what would I do if I lost one of my key employees today? If I think through that, I can go, okay, well, here would be my backup plan. I can even write down a short plan and keep it so that I pre-plan and I'm pre-prepared or prepared for that. And that way we already have a plan, and that allows us to let go of that worry and not think about the disasters and just focus on our process and routine throughout the day. But it also puts us in a position of strength, because if we get hit with a couple disasters at once, we already have the plan in place and we know what to do, and the stress will be lower, and we have a clear path forward that we can communicate to our customers. We can communicate to our employees. We can communicate and say, yep, these things happen and here's how we're going to deal with it. If you take this one step further in this mindset approach, one of the things that we do with our clients is when they come on board, we have a short conversation on a call and say, as much as we would like to think that everything is going to go perfectly in life, it doesn't always go that way. And so here's our plan. If things don't go right, if things get rough, or there's a mistake, or there's something that comes up as a challenge, here's how we're going to work through it together. So by setting that expectation with our customers, then they already know we have a plan for those things. They come up, and it gives them a lot more trust and confidence in us. We do the same thing with our team members. We say, you know what, we're so excited to have you on board. Here's your onboarding. And you know what, here's going to be the process if we decide to part ways in the future. And so we pre-plan for those types of situations, instead of thinking it's never going to happen, because that creates hurt and disaster and stress and problems. But instead of, just realizing that this is normal life, things do happen, here's how we're going to handle it, that's a much smoother path to move forward. The third mindset shift that I would encourage you to make today is remember the rule of 8 and 64. I don't remember if I've talked about this on the show recently, but just to break it down, if I give you a project to do and say, you have to handle all this and get it knocked out, you have 8 hours in your workday to accomplish it. Maybe you're stretching a little bit longer and you're working 10s or 12s, which I don't encourage, because that actually lowers your overall productivity. But let's just, for simplicity's sake, you have 8 hours to accomplish the goal. Well, you can go knock it out yourself. And as owners, we're doers, we're action takers, we're entrepreneurs. We know how to solve problems. So we dive in and handle things. And that's a great attitude. It's a great mindset in a lot of senses, but it can actually hurt us when we're growing a team, when we're having employees, and we're trying to grow our company. So the rule of 8 and 64 says, I can do 8 hours of work myself, or if I spread out everything I need done to 8 other people, I can have 64 hours of productivity in a day, and I don't have to take it on all myself. And it's just a reminder to delegate, and to delegate the things that other people can do well, even if they can only do it 70 or 80% as well as you. And let's just say like they could be productive and successful for 7 of their 8 hours. You could still hand out all the work to 8 people. And then you could spend an hour, with each person throughout the day, and give them some coaching and give them support and help them get to the 100% mark on whatever they were working on. You would still have created massive value, gotten massive results, and been in a much better position at the end of the day. And so teaching your employees over the long term of how to delegate, themselves when they become managers or leaders, how to take, orders and successfully achieve things, that's a way that you create leverage. And so the 3 mindset shifts, just to recap, is have a healthy detachment from today's outcomes. Instead, fall in love with the process, fall in love with the work that you do every day, fall in love with the routines, and that will help you move forward. The second thing is pre-plan for disaster, because it will come. You are going to have bad days. Things are going to go wrong. Things are going to break. Unexpected things will happen, but have a pre-planned, process in place so you can solve those things. And then the third thing is the rule of 8 and 64. You have 8 hours in a day where you can get work done. Or if you delegate effectively to 8 other people, you can get 64 hours of work done in one day. So I hope that's been helpful for you. If you need any help with any of this, please reach out at landscapemarketinghero.com. I appreciate you taking time to tune in today, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show. If you're ready to begin your journey up the Green Mountain, where we show you how to build a low-stress, high-profit, $10 million per year landscaping company, then head over to landscapemarketinghero.com to download your free growth map. One of our guides will be there to help you along the way. Again, that's landscapemarketinghero.com.